So guys, Sheryl Swoopes was not commentating today. Sheryl Swoopes was not commentating today.
You know what's crazy? Sheryl Swoopes, the WNBA icon, just got pulled from broadcasting the Fever Wings game. And it's all because of her beef with Caitlin Clark. Talk about drama. Let's break down how a legend went from calling games to getting benched. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. You know what's crazier than Clark's stats? Swoopes' reaction to them. The tension between Swoopes and Clark was building like a pressure cooker.
And during the game, she was live retweeting like stuff about people harassing her.
You think you've seen awkward sports moments? Wait until you hear about the broadcast that left fans stunned and social media exploding. At first, Swoopes tried to play it cool. When asked about Clark, she'd give these polite but kinda lukewarm responses. It's like she was trying to be respectful, but you could tell her heart wasn't in it. Fans started to notice, but hey, maybe Swoopes was just being cautious, right? Then came the moment that had everyone raising their eyebrows. There was this game where Diamond DeShields laid a hard foul on Clark. Now, most people were like, whoa, that was rough. But Swoopes? She jumped in to defend DeShields. That's when folks started connecting the dots. It wasn't just one comment anymore, it was becoming a pattern. But hold up, we're just getting started. Picture this, Swoopes is doing a broadcast and her co-host starts praising Caitlin Clark for winning player of the week. Normal reaction would be to chime in, right? Nope. Swoopes went silent. Not for a few seconds, not for 10 seconds, but for a whole 50 seconds. It was so awkward you could practically feel it through the screen. One commentator said she could not even say anything. I mean, it is absurd. And let me tell you, that's putting it mildly. It was like watching a train wreck in slow motion, but instead of a crash, it was just silence.
And also like some other stuff about the game. She was not live tweeting the game, but like basically almost live tweeting the lead up to the game.
You'd think after that, Swoopes might try to smooth things over, but nah, she doubled down. Every time Clark's name came up, Swoopes either got real quiet or found a way to change the subject. It was getting to the point where you could set your watch by it. Mention Clark, watch Swoopes clam up. Then social media got wind of it all, and whew, it was like throwing gas on a fire. Twitter, Instagram, you name it, they all blew up. People were calling Swoopes jealous, saying she couldn't handle the new star on the block. Some fans were defending her, saying she was just being cautious, but most weren't buying it. The craziest part, this wasn't just some Twitter beef or fan drama. We're talking about a WNBA legend seemingly at odds with the league's new superstar. It was like watching your favorite aunt start drama at a family reunion.
It's not like she's was a bad player by any means. Like, she played, crazily enough, she played for the Detroit Shock when she was 50.
Uncomfortable, but you just can't look away. You thought the silent treatment was bad. That was just the warm-up. Swoopes was about to drop a bombshell that would make the league itself step in. How did she go from WNBA legend to being pulled from the air? It all started when Stephen A. Smith decided to call Swoopes out. He wasn't having any of her silence on Caitlin Clark. Smith, known for his fiery takes, straight up called Swoopes out for not giving Clark her props. That's when things really heated up. Imagine this, Swoopes is doing a broadcast talking about the Indiana Fever's roster. Now, you'd think Clark would be the first name on her lips, right? Nope. Swoopes didn't even mention her. Fans went wild. They were calling it unprofessional, saying Swoopes was letting her personal feelings get in the way of her job.
She genuine, like that is a shot at Sheryl Swoopes. It is one of the things where you're like, she is so much in the wrong, obviously Sheryl Swoopes is.
But here's where it gets really crazy. This wasn't just about Swoopes anymore. The whole WNBA was feeling the heat. People were starting to wonder if this drama was gonna mess with the league's viewership and ratings. I mean, think about it. You've got one of the biggest names in women's basketball seemingly at odds with the new star everyone's talking about. That's not a good look. The WNBA had to do something. They couldn't just sit back and watch this unfold. So what did they do? They pulled Swoopes from the Indiana Fever versus Dallas Wings broadcast. Just like that, boom, she was out. You know things are serious when the league steps in like that. It sent shockwaves through the WNBA community. Fans, players, other commentators, everyone was talking about it. Some people were defending Swoopes, saying she had a right to her opinion. Others were calling her classless and jealous. But let's break this down for a second. Swoopes isn't just any commentator. She's a Hall of Famer, a legend in her own right. For her to get pulled from a broadcast, that's huge. It's like if Michael Jordan got kicked off an NBA broadcast for not giving LeBron his due. It's that big. And it's not just about Swoopes and Clark anymore. This whole situation is making people ask some big questions about the WNBA. How are they going to handle situations like this in the future? What does this mean for relationships between veteran players and rising stars? The league's in a tough spot. They want to respect their legends, but they also need to support their new stars. It's like trying to balance on a tightrope while juggling flaming torches. One wrong move and everything could come crashing down. But you know what's really wild about all this? It's showing just how much the WNBA has grown. Think about it. A few years ago, would a controversy like this have gotten so much attention? Would people have cared this much about what a commentator said or didn't say about a rookie? Probably not. Now, here's where it gets real. What happens when a legend becomes the villain? The WNBA's growing pains are showing, and Swoopes' clash with Caitlin Clark isn't just about two players anymore. It's rewriting the rules of respect in women's basketball. The official broadcast team for the Indiana Fever versus Dallas Wings game now includes Ron Thulin and Nancy Lieberman, with Siobhan Herden as the sideline reporter. Swoopes' absence is like a neon sign flashing drama. It's hard to ignore, and fans aren't staying quiet about it. You'd think everyone would be on the same page, right? Wrong. Swoopes' removal has split the fan base like a lightning bolt. Some folks are riding hard for Swoopes, saying she's got a right to her opinion. They're all freedom of speech people. But on the flip side, you've got fans calling her classless and jealous. It's like a Twitter war come to life, but with real consequences. This whole mess isn't just about Swoopes and Clark anymore. It's got the WNBA sweating bullets. Imagine being the league right now. You've got legends, you've got rising stars, and now you've got drama. How do you keep everyone happy? It's like trying to juggle while riding a unicycle. One wrong move and everything comes crashing down. The big question on everyone's mind is, how's the WNBA gonna handle stuff like this in the future? It's not like they can put all their veterans in a room and say, hey, be nice to the new kids or else. But they can't just let comments slide either. It's a tightrope walk, and the whole basketball world is watching. And let's talk about those relationships between veteran players and rising stars. It used to be all about mentorship and passing the torch. Now, it's getting complicated. You've got vets feeling threatened, rookies trying to make their mark, and a whole lot of ego in between. It's like high school drama, but with million-dollar contracts on the line. But you know what's crazy? This whole situation is teaching us some big lessons. First off, sportsmanship isn't just for the court. It matters just as much when you're holding a mic as when you're holding a ball. Swoopes found that out the hard way. And then there's the whole adapting to change thing. Basketball's evolving, the WNBA's growing, and everyone's gotta keep up. Even legends, maybe especially legends, because when you're at the top, you've got further to fall. This Swoopes situation, it's like a wake-up call for the whole league. It's saying, hey, times are changing. Get on board or get left behind. And that's not just for the players. It's for the commentators, the coaches, everyone. You know what's wild? This drama might actually be good for the WNBA. I know, hear me out. All this attention, all these passionate fans arguing, it shows people care, they're invested. The WNBA isn't just some sideshow anymore, it's main event stuff. And Caitlin Clark, she's at the center of it all, not even saying a word. She's just out there balling, breaking records, and changing the game. While everyone else is talking, she's doing. That's some next level stuff right there.